Hi everyone, I'm Sarah at Childhood Finds, and thank you for joining me for another What Sold video. As you can tell probably from the thumbnail and the title that sales aren't super great right now, and I just wanted to talk about that briefly before we get started on our What Sold. So I'm going to do a longer video about being a full-time reseller, but it is something to consider that this isn't a consistent income. So I actually had a day this weekend where I had absolutely no sales. I can't actually tell you the last time that happened. And on just eBay, I sold three items this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. 3. I do know it was a Super Bowl, so that could have affected things, but that's pretty unheard of for me. So you have to keep in mind that yes, you get to a point where you can start to kind of expect your income, but it's still not consistent. You can't force people to buy things. And, especially now when my product I know is not quite up to the same par that it is during other months because I am going more through my death pile and having to do thrifting and things like that. That's making, the product I'm getting up not as fast moving as other things. And so it's scary. It's scary to have such a low week. I mean, I made almost half what I really need to make during a week, and it's scary to experience that. That's why I do suggest, diversifying in ways. That's why I have Poshmark, I have Mercari. They're not huge money makers, but they help ease the burden of other things. And that's why I also have YouTube now. I mean, I'm not getting rich off any of those extra incomes, but it helps ease the burden some so I can breathe a little bit more. Because it is, especially when you're just starting being a full-time reseller, it's nerve-wracking and it's anxious work, not knowing for sure where your next sourcing is going to happen, how the next big sale you're going to have. It can be really stressful, and I'm definitely in that place a lot. I'm hoping as I continue to do this over the years that it'll get easier, but it's still scary. I also went to an estate sale this weekend where there's not many right now, where it was like locust hit it. It just was obliterated, and there was a ton of resellers, which, it's fine. There's others out there. That's, it's totally fine, but there's so many that were out, and it's scary to not know if you're going to be able to find product or not to continue this. So I just wanted to talk about that very briefly so that it's something to think about if you're not a full-time reseller and you're part-time and you want to go full-time. It does have drawbacks of doing so. And I still wouldn't trade it, but it's still stressful. Other than that, I'm going to do a full video on the topic of being a full-time reseller here in the coming weeks or months. So I'll talk more about it then. But otherwise, I'm going to share with you my solds. There's quite a few, but there's nothing real impressive. And that's what some weeks are like. And so that's why I'm sharing them with you, to know, so that you know that this isn't all sunshine and roses, because my last What Sold was talking about how sales were up. And that's what eBay and reselling can be, is it's very up and down. So I'm just going to continue to work harder and just keep pushing through, and hopefully things will work out as long as I'm putting in the effort I need to. This isn't, any doom or gloom that reselling is dying or anything. This is just that I need to continue to put the effort in, and hopefully I will see those results later. So other than that, we're going to get started on our What Solds. Okay, as always, I am not showing you all my sales, but I am trying to show you a variety of different stuff. And just to say, please share with me in the comments how your sales are doing. If they're great, awesome. If they're not, share that. I mean, we can all support each other and talk about it. We all go through good and bad periods any time of the year, so sometimes it helps to know you're not alone in that. So just put that down in the comments how you're doing if you're a reseller. And right now we're going to start with, this is a fun one to start with. It's an adult Billy Goat full head latex Halloween animal mask creepy party with tag. And I took a best offer of $11 on this because I didn't really find, I don't remember what I found when I looked at solds. I don't know that I found any solds. I think I found 1 or 2 listed out of the country. So I went with 20 bucks and I got an offer, countered it and got 11 bucks. I paid like 50 cents for this. Totally happy with 11. Next we have, this is one of those things that I regret selling. It's one of those things that once I am more financially stable, I would have absolutely kept. So hopefully I find it again because I'd keep it. And this is Ribbit 3D Puzzle, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, Hobbiton. 363 pieces, box damage. And it was just so cool. It would be so cool to put this 3D thing together. I would have 100% did this. I love Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. But I took a best offer of $48. It's been listed for quite a while. I got it at a thrift store for $5. This has been listed at least a year. I paid $1 at a thrift store. It's an FAO Schwartz Toasties Unicorn Microwavable Heat Plush 2021 stuffed animal. It sold for the full asking. I don't pick up these microwavable ones really much anymore. They're just so heavy. And so it makes the shipping more expensive. And with the cubic shipping, the smaller ones are kind of worth it. This didn't cost very much to ship, but it's something to consider with the heavier plush. But it did sell for full asking. It just took over a year. These are Royal Pewter Viking Ship Boat Dish Trinket Bowl Decorative Lot of 2. I took a best offer of $16 for these guys, and I paid $3 total for both of them. So 3 into 16 isn't bad. They took about a month to sell. And as you can see, a lot of these aren't big. I had a decent quantity of sales, but not a lot of bigger dollar items this week, which definitely makes a difference. And this is J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit Lot of 4 paperback box set. I've sold this, I think, 3 or 4 times now, and the price has gone down some, but I sold this for $14, the full asking price. And usually I get 14 to 20 for this box set, but it's gone down because this one took quite a while to sell. This is a vintage EA Riba Co. Brooklyn, New York oval frame Fragonard courting couple, and it sold for full asking price. We paid $1 for this at an estate sale, and I think it took 3 to 4 months or so to sell for this one. And then we have, he's so cute. He's so tiny and cute. This is a Manhattan Toy Piper Pink Pig Piggy Plush 7-inch stuffed animal toy lovey. Oh, I didn't put swine. Usually I like to put pig, piggy, swine in my pig ones for all the keywords, but I didn't in this one. It sold for the full asking of $14.95. It was a nice quality. It just was so teensy, where just 7 inches completely stretched out. So teeny and really cute little plush, and 15 bucks for it. I have about 50 cents into this from a thrift store. I think it only took a month or 2 at the most to sell. This had been listed over a year. I was convinced this wasn't ever gonna sell. I paid $5 for this at a thrift store. It's Thames and Cosmo Peppermint in the Fantastic Underwater Science Voyage stem. It sold for the full asking of $25, but it did take over a year and it was bulky. So would I pick it up again? Probably, knowing myself. Should I pick it up again? Probably, maybe not. Just because it was quite large. If it wasn't so large, I wouldn't hesitate to turn 5 into 25, but it was quite big in a year. So I'd still probably pick it up again. I know myself. This is a 1995 Alaska Iditarod commemorative belt buckle, limited edition Siskiyou, and it sold for $15 on a best offer. Wasn't in perfect condition, but I got this at a yard sale towards the end of the season and picked it up for about $1. Sold for $15. Few months for it to sell. It actually is going to Alaska, which made me smile. And this is a Nintendo Super Mario Brothers Fire White Green Luigi 16-inch plush. And it sold for best offer of $12. Paid $1 for it at a thrift store. Again, guys, just a lot of bread and butter this week, and that's fine. This is my like one decent sale of the week. This is Vintage Fiesta Wear Original Light Green Disc Pitcher, Fiesta HLC USA, and this sold for a best offer of $65, so I was very happy with that. We paid $1 for this at the Epic Estate sale that I did a video on this year, where it was the craziest estate sale I've ever been to. And this took, I think that's been about 5 or so months, 5 to 6 months now. But it sold 1 into 65. Very happy with that. And I like Fiesta. This guy took forever to sell. He is not the original. He's Teddy Ruxpin 2017 plush talking storytelling Bluetooth bear LCD eyes works, and he sold for $20. And I know he's been listed for a while because I don't have a video for him, and I typically would have put a video for these animated things, but I didn't for him. And I think I recall getting him in a thrift store for like $2.99, something around that, but it's been a year. It's been at least a year. This is a dolphin figurine bottle opener marked West Germany vintage. This sold for the full asking of $11.95. I picked this up at a yard sale for $1. Nothing super special, but I've sold this exact bottle opener once before too that had tags and everything on it. So still a decent turn. Then these I've had listed for probably 8 to 10 months, but it's a lot of 5. The Country Jukebox Collection, Time Life, Various Artists, 2006. Sold for best offer of $25. All 5 of them were sealed, and I picked them up for 50 cents each at a estate sale, so $2.50 total into this one. And I definitely I think I want to go back into CDs a little bit this year. My first year I did a ton of CDs because I got a bunch free from my family, but I kind of want to look at CDs again because they did bring me in some good money that first year, so maybe we can aim for those again. Then we've got Vintage Fire King Salad Plates, Dish, Wheat, Milk Glass, lot of 4. Sold for best offer of $17. I would not pick these up again. They took over a year to sell, and they're 4 different breakables. I wouldn't mind selling 1 breakable for $17, but when I've got to put 4, you got 4 chances of breakage. So I don't know that I would pick these up again. I don't love packing multiple breakables into a box. I do it, and I've done it a lot, but I don't love it. So it's got to be a decent amount of money, and it's just the time I spent packing these and all of that could have been spent better elsewhere. But I remember getting these, I think, for 50 cents a plate. This I picked up at an estate sale for $1, and it's another pitcher. It's a yellow Fiesta Wear 6-inch small juice pitcher made in USA. My favorite color, guys, and you can probably tell from my channel. And it did sell for the full asking of $17.95. This is a funny one. It's been listed for a few months, but I realized after a couple months that not all the pictures had uploaded. There's only like 3 pictures on this. And as soon as I uploaded the other 10, because I retook them, it sold within the day. So definitely pays to have more pictures. Next, we have a lot of 2 Walt Disney Originals Favorites Vinyl LP Pickwick Records Disneyland. Sold for the full asking of $25. I paid $1 each, but they took forever. This was when I was doing free shipping on my media that I was testing, and that was over a year ago that I was trying that. So this has been a while. You can see a lot of longer tail items are selling. That's why I don't mind the long tail items. It's almost like front loading your store so that it'll keep making good sales all throughout, even though they are long tail items. And this is a new Vintage Creative Memories 12x12 green old style Triumph album scrapbook. And I took a best offer of $18 for this one. I believe I've sold all of my creative memory items now. I got a chunk of them there for a bit. I picked up a few at an auction, and I picked up a bunch at a thrift store. And this was the last one to sell, so I have $2 into this and turned it into $18. These are a lot of 3 rose floral brooch pins, silver tone, blue, purple. They're not marked in any way. They're absolutely nothing special in any way. I took a best offer of $10 though for them, and I got them for probably about 50 cents to $1 total for all three. So it doesn't always have to have a name to sell. You just might not get as much money. Whoops, just deleted that. Oh well. And this is a Captain Sonar board game, 8-player version, 2016, used, complete. I took a best offer of $30 for this, and I've done a lot of board games. I keep picking them up and being a little upset every time I have to count pieces, but I don't mind. I really don't mind it. It doesn't take too long. And this I bought at a thrift store for $2 and then sold it for $30. And this I've had listed quite a long time, probably at least a year as well. And it's maybe not a year, probably 8 to 10 months, because I remember I got another rifle case with this one that was more valuable. And this is a vintage Apache soft 49-inch brown vinyl rifle case. Flaws, not in very good condition. I paid too much for it. I bought two at the same time. I paid $8, I think, for each of them. The other one was worth $50. And then this one was worth $22. So it wasn't a bad flip if you consider both of them. But I definitely probably should have just bought the other one because it sold quickly and was in good condition. This one, not so much. But it sold for full asking of $22 eventually. This is brand new Bernat Big Blanket Yarn, 32 yards, Moody Blues. And it's a lot of 2 of them. I picked up a lot of yarn on Facebook Marketplace. And I believe I might have one more lot left, but I paid $50 for all of it, and I think I'm gonna make about $250 to $300 at the end of it, so I'm totally fine with that. Sold for $20. And this is a Dakin Dream Pets Happy Hornet Plush Stuffed Bug 6-inch Vintage Flying Insect. This is another one of those things where I love what I do, and why I believe resellers are doing good things is this was basically in someone's trash pile at a garage sale. They thought it was worthless, and I paid $0.25 for it because they're just like, I don't know, $0.25, because it wasn't in perfect condition, but it's a vintage toy, and it was very cute. But it was definitely something that most people, they'd had this yard sale for weeks, so it'd been sitting there for weeks going through each yard sale cycle, and no one wanted it. So it definitely, we do save things. We save things from being trashed that someone's now going to appreciate. Someone is going to appreciate this adorable little happy hornet. Well, good morning, Bubba. Stretch out. If you can't see, my bloodhound's here. He wants to supervise my video right now. Just got back from a walk with his buddies. And this is Torrid Sky High Skinny Jeans Women's 16T Tall Blue Premium Stretch Denim. Sold for a best offer of $17.50. I paid $2.50 at a thrift store a couple months ago. This has been listed a year and a half. Either this came from my mother-in-law or it came from a lot of these that we bought at a yard sale. And it's a 1988 Virginia First Estate duck stamp print. And again, $15, took quite a long time, but easy to pack, easy to ship. It's like this wide, so it didn't take up much space. These are Yo-Zone Cyclone Force 40 light patterns with sounds, ball bearing yo-yo lot of 3. These were fun. I picked these up, I think, for about $3 total for all of them. And they sold for $20 full asking price. But they did take probably 6+ months to sell. This is a vintage Navy USS Enterprise CVN 65 snapback hat. And this sold for $25. And I paid 8 cents for this in a bulk hat lot. And I don't believe I showed any of these in my last what sold. I try to make sure I never duplicate. I'm pretty sure. And then we just have a couple Poshmark and one Mercari. So still working on cross-listing, guys. It's still definitely a pulling teeth a little bit scenario, sometimes getting sales there, but I'm still going to keep trying to be consistent. And this is a silver-chested Native American cuff bracelet, turquoise flower, vintage, unsigned. Sold for $52 on Poshmark. Paid $5 for this at a yard sale. This is this one and the next one sold. You probably just heard my dog snore there. This is a vintage 24% lead crystal Princess House Pets clear paperweight, Germany. Sold this one and this one. Solid brass piggy belt buckle. I didn't put swine again. I think I ran out of space. Belt buckle by Baron Buckle Co. 1978. And that one and the other one sold for $25.50 in a bundle on Poshmark. I do have it set up on Poshmark where if you buy 2 or more items, you get a 15% discount. And I've had a fair amount of people take advantage of that. And then my last one on Mercari is a genuine turquoise chip guitar silver tone lighter cover vintage. I don't recall at all where we got this. I have the vaguest memory of my mother-in-law picking this up. I know I wouldn't have paid much because I'm cheap and I wouldn't have thought this was worth much. But it sold for $20 in about a week after getting it listed. And so we probably have 50 cents to $1 into it, I'd assume. But there's a chunk of sales, guys. Nothing huge money, but we're just going to keep pushing through to the next week because that's all we can keep doing. I hope your weeks are going well on sales if you're a reseller or if you're a sourcer. I hope you're finding amazing items. And thank you guys, as always, for joining me on this YouTube journey and commenting, sharing, liking my videos. I really appreciate all your guys' support. And I will see you guys on the next one.